Have you ever held on to a losing trade for days just because you didn't want to admit you were wrong? I have. I used to hold on to trades with the hope that it'll come back. I used to lose sleep over cutting a trade, only to watch the market reverse afterward. I used to FOMO into positions like a moth to a flame when others flaunted their profits, only to eventually blow my account. The more I clung on, the more I lost. The more I tried to control the market, the more it drowned me. There was a time I believed that letting go meant failure. But it was precisely those failures that taught me letting go at the right moment is the peak of strength. And in today's podcast, I want to share with you a very different perspective on the power of letting go, not just in trading, but in life itself. If you've ever been ruled by emotions in your trades, if you've ever been trapped in the cycle of greed, anger, delusion while trading, then this podcast is for you. Stay with me until the end, because I believe you may never look at letting go the same way again. If this message resonates with you, please hit like and subscribe to the channel so I'll have the motivation to share even deeper insights on mind, wealth, and the market. In Buddhism, letting go does not mean surrender. It's not the same as giving up or being careless. Letting go is the most awakened action. When you realize you're attached to a trade, to a dream of getting rich quick, to the expectation that the market will listen to you. Attachment is the beginning of suffering, and the financial market is an impermanent realm, no different from life itself. It's unstable, unfair, and absolutely unmerciful. The more you try to hold on to past profits, a losing trade, or the belief that you're right, the more you become a victim of your own expectations. I used to be that person. I held a trade for a whole month, not because of strategy, but because of ego. I used to silently pray when the price went against me, instead of analyzing my mistake. I used to think controlling the market was greatness. Now I understand. Controlling myself is the real greatness. In meditation, there's a concept called stillness within motion. In a market that moves every second, if your inner self is not calm, every trade you enter will be a product of emotion, not reason. Letting go doesn't mean you stop trading. It means you stop being attached to winning or losing. You stop expecting the market to follow your will. You stop regretting what's already past. When I learned to let go, I started winning, not just in my account, but in how I saw the market. I no longer needed to prove anything. I just calmly waited for my setup, entered the trade like a predetermined action, and let the market do its part. We can't control the wind, but we can adjust our sails. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means no longer holding on to what's no longer timely. And in the financial market, those who know how to let go at the right time are the ones who survive longest. You don't need to beat the market, you only need to beat yourself. And sometimes that victory begins with a quiet release. I once heard a story about a friend. He held onto a gold trade for 3 weeks just because it was almost back to break even. A $10,000 0-cents account completely wiped out by a single trade. When I asked why he didn't cut it earlier, he replied, "Because I believed it would come back." But the market doesn't care what you believe. In this game, belief without logic is the sharpest knife, cutting straight into your wallet. And sometimes it's better to lose a finger than to lose the whole arm. Cutting a loss means daring to admit you're wrong, not to surrender, but to preserve the ability to fight another day. Only when you accept the cut can you retain the chance to recover. Letting go of profits, now that's even harder. Many have felt the deep sting of regret, watching a trade they closed too early continue to soar. That regret seeps into the bones, pushing them to re-enter the market, not because of opportunity, but out of revenge. And from there, wrong trades stack upon wrong trades. Trading ceases to be a strategy and becomes emotional chaos. The market never took anything from you, it's just that you didn't know enough is enough. Knowing enough is knowing how to win. Letting go of expectations, easier said than done. How many times have you felt sure the market would go up just because of a news headline? How many times have you seen a perfect candle and thought you caught the trend, but then the market reversed, dragging down your confidence and your capital? You don't need to know where the market is going, you just need to know what you'll do if it goes the other way. Trading is a conditional act, not a prayer. And finally, letting go of ego. I used to think I analyzed this so well, the market has to follow me. Wrong. The more you think you're right, the closer you are to destruction. Ego doesn't kill traders through losses, but through its refusal to let them see their mistakes. The ones who survive the longest are the quietest, who don't brag about wins, don't justify losses, and never argue with the market. On this financial journey, there are times when you need to stay firm and times when you need to let go. The hard part is knowing which is which, but once you learn to let go at the right moment, you've already won half the battle. The rest is simply having the patience to keep going. When you let go of the turmoil within, only then can you truly see the storms outside. A monk once said, "When the water is muddy, don't stir it, let it settle." In trading, your mind is that lake. If it's constantly filled with anxiety, fear, and expectations, then no matter how clear the market signals are, you'll only see what you want to see, not the truth. I once entered a trade simply because I was afraid of missing out. The chart was signaling the opposite direction. The news didn't support the trade, but inside me was silent fear. At that moment, I didn't enter because I saw opportunity. I entered because I couldn't bear staying still. And that trade inevitably lost. When I started meditating, started keeping a trading journal, I gradually realized consistent results don't come from big wins, but from making decisions in a state of mindfulness. Each time I let go of expectations, let go of fear, what remained was clarity, and that clarity brought me peace. In the financial market, you can't control the waves, but you can learn to ride them with a calm spirit. A stable mindset not only helps you see the real opportunities amid the chaos, it also gives you the courage to ignore the fake ones. Wealth doesn't come from the number of trades you take, but from the number of times you dare not to trade. Every right decision is not a stroke of luck, but the result of a calm mind. And when your mind is calm, you no longer need to fight for wins or losses with the market. You just need to follow the plan, follow the method, and most importantly, follow the right state of mind. Because after all, what you're trading is not just money, but yourself. When you win a trade, your account grows, but when you conquer your restless mind, you grow. That is the deepest victory. And it begins with one moment of letting go. I once asked a meditation master, "How can I let go of fear when trading?" He didn't answer right away. He simply smiled, handed me an hourglass and said, "Each morning, sit still until the sand runs out. Do nothing, just sit and listen." Strangely enough, after just a few days, I started to realize the things I was clinging to in my mind were not the market, but the need to be right, to be validated, to be profitable. And from that point on, I developed the habit of sitting still for 5 minutes every morning. No phone, no charts, no news, just one single question echoing in my mind. What do I need to let go of today? Some days it was expectations, other days it was the insecurity after a losing streak, and sometimes it was letting go of the urge to trade in an unclear market. Before placing any trade, I always whisper to myself, "If this trade loses, I'll still be okay." That sentence sounds simple, but it frees you from the pressure to win. And when that pressure is gone, decisions become lighter. A clear mind sees the market more clearly. I also keep a journal, not to list winning trades, but to record emotions. Before a trade, what was I expecting? During the trade, was I tense? After the trade, what did I learn from letting go? Some pages are filled with regret, others with a strange peace after a well-timed cut loss. But gradually, I realized letting go is a skill to train, not a feeling to wait for. If you want to win in the long run, start with yourself. Each morning, a moment of stillness. Each trade, a silent reminder. Each day, a line of emotional reflection. That's how you train the mind. And once the mind is steady, the market can no longer shake you. Because at that point, you're not just a trader, you're a person living mindfully in the waves of finance.